to the RS001 Audi Quattro build. Well, as you can see, we've actually got some panels. We've been to see Darren, aka Mr. Blowy, and he's done a fantastic job, I have to say, because honestly, the fit and finish of these panels had to have like so many hours of work to just get all the lines right and get all the panels like matched up and gapped right, and I think Darren's massive OCD, even like re-sculptured the tops of these panels to get them to shape and fit the bonnet correct. And you know, and I know some of the comments were like, well, it's only a rally car, but we like to like get all the gaps right and, you know, stuff like that, really, because it, you know, just that's the way it should be, really. So we're not actually going to put the front end on the car at the moment, because I still got to do wiring and just sort of final fitment of, you know, all the bits and pieces of the car. So at the moment we'll just get in the way. So it's just going to live in the other man cave for the time being. And then the last job of the day will be to sort of like do the final fitting of the doors, this front end, all the headlights and wiring for the headlights and stuff like that, and bonnets and stuff like that, because all that doesn't take that long to do, to be fair. You're probably a good weekend and you'll probably get most of this on and all sort of finished off, really. So yeah, but we've done quite a lot more to the car as well. So we've got all the rear suspension fitted to the vehicle now, and roll bars are in. We've finished off securing all the Racing Lines hoses. So Jake did a fantastic job of all the crimping and help with the installation of the hoses from Racing Lines. So that's really good. And then hopefully we should have the final turbochargers from TurboSmart as well. They should be here soon. So we'll be able to finish off all the proper installation of that and finalize all the air filter and other stuff, because it's like with any build, there's so many little loose ends that you got to tidy up and sort of finish off, really. So we're just gonna, well, just attack it as we see it, really. But yeah, come take a look, and remember, like and subscribe, and hope you enjoy the video. One of the things unique to a space frame chassis car is the floor that you use, and I've chosen like it's a aluminium honeycomb, much the same as they use in aircraft wings and other stuff, and it's actually really cheap to buy, and it's super strong. You know, like there's a single sheet of aluminium on the top, glued with a honeycomb weave in the center, and then same on the bottom. And Darren's gone round and filled all the edges in, and it's absolutely done a fantastic job of it. And we've got like a load of fixing points that we've had added into the bottom of the chassis, and this will just bolt up once the car's done, really. So yeah, this is quite a good little piece, this, and it'll be nice and strong. You'll be able to stand on it and all sorts of stuff, and it should protect you if something tries to come through the bottom of the car and stuff like that as well. So yeah, so the whole bottom of the chassis is actually dead flat. So this basically allows that aluminium honeycomb just to bolt up to it. And all the fixings and all the car parts are actually bolted to the chassis itself. So there's nothing actually gets bolted to the floor. So it just clips into the front here. We've got like a little lip here for it. And then along the side of the chassis here, we've got a load of little fixing holes, and that just allows us to bolt it up. So yeah. So new to the car is we've got all the cooling system added to the vehicle now. So basically it's a single pass radiator that goes left to right, and we've got an electronic water pump which feeds the engine. So we've not actually got a mechanical water pump on the engine anymore. It solely relies on this to circulate the water for the cooling system. So this does a what they call 150 litres per minute. So that should be enough to cool what we've got. And then this will also be controlled by the Motec, and I'll speed control it as well. So that way it allows it to warm up a little bit faster, and we could just manage the voltage to the actual pump depending on what sort of temperature it is as well. Also, we've got two SPAL thematic fans on the vehicle as well, and they'll be independently operated as well. So when it gets up to say 80 degrees water temperature, we'll kick one in, and then if it still gets hotter, like above sort of 85 or 88, then we'll kick the other one in, and that should be able to manage the actual water temperature of the vehicle. So these are all the Racing Lines hoses that we've had fitted as well. They're in their final spots now as well, and these have all been covered with heat proofing as well. Because we've got like hot pipes running next to the fuel tank and stuff like that, we just don't want that transfer of heat going across to the fuel cell. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the fuel cell yet. I may even like cover it with some heat proof gold tape or something like that, just to, because I could imagine like when all the thermofans running with all this hot air, that's going to radiate into this area as well. So I think I'll probably end up doing a bit of that as well, just to stop, because if we can keep the fuel temperature cold, then you're just going to make more power. So that's what we'll do with that really. Other things at the front we've done, all the power steering lines are done, the high pressure power steering lines are done, roll bars are mounted. Yeah, we're kind of nearly ready to go at the front here. So I had to, here, hang on. We had a bit of a casualty in war. Well, every war has casualties, doesn't it? But these are the ABS wheel speed sensors that we use for the vehicle, and you can't actually fit a connector on once the actual brake bracket is on for the old Alcon. So normally what I do is just like pot it. So you can see there's like a potting compound. We put the thing down the bottom, and anyhow I had to like still take off a slither off the side to bolt it in, and unfortunately there was a wire just behind it, and I've now broken that sensor. So that was 120 pounds down the drain. So lessons are learned every day, aren't they? So yeah, trim the sensor first, then pot it, and then you won't have this problem again. So yeah, unfortunately that was a casualty. So the back end is coming together quite well now. So all the rear suspension is fitted to the vehicle now. All the drive shafts are on the vehicle as well. Toe links, brakes, shock absorbers. We've got roll bars in. Just got to put some links in and stuff like that. So this is all coming together quite well, and all the intake systems on the vehicle now. Fuel lines are run as well. We've actually fitted a fuel drain point to the vehicle as well, because at the end of each time that we race the car, because the fuel that's in it is very, very corrosive to the engine. So I like to sort of run the car on just like standard unleaded fuel afterwards. That just basically keeps all the engine internally nice and fresh and stuff like that. And so with this drain port, we could just operate the fuel pumps, and then we could just drain the fuel out, store that, and then just put some normal unleaded in it for when we're driving it around on and off the trailer and warming it up and stuff like that. So it helps a lot as well, because the race fuel that we use is £8.50 per litre as well. So it costs you about a tenner every time you warm the car up. So whenever you go testing, you tend to eat your lunch very quick. So that way you can keep the car warm and sort of go from there really. So yeah, it's looking good. We've got the cooling system all plumbed up. The breathers for the oil system's plumbed up as well. Everything's kind of ready to go really. We're just lacking wires. So we just need to get some motivation, and we'll get some wiring looms in it, and then we should be good to go. We haven't got any fluids in it yet, because it's just easier to work on it, because sometimes you're pulling bits back off the car to put things back on the car as well. And then, you know, once we sort of finalise everything and we want to run it, that's when we'll sort of put the fluids in for the final time, and then we can sort of go from there. So unique to this engine, we've had this intake system made, and this has a 80 odd mil driver wire throttle body. And what I can do with this throttle body is there's quite a lot of things. Go on to the old cable throttles for opening and closing the butterfly, so that can be done by the ECU now. So this also does automatic throttle blipping for down changes, so we can when you operate the gear lever, that can detect the downwards load, and then that can do the blipping for that, so we don't need to heel and toe to do down gear changes. And it can do basic stuff like idle speed control, so it can increase the amount of air that is needed for cold starts and stuff like that. And then we could also do different throttle curves for the vehicle as well, because sometimes, I mean, this thing, when it's going to be, you know, like on set to kill, it's going to be around about 1,000 horsepower. So we want to be able to adjust what my pedal reads to what goes into the engine butterfly. And although you might have, say, 50% on the pedal, you might only want like 30 or 40% on the actual butterfly. So we can sort of have a 3D curve to modify that, and then that would make the engine more drivable. Well, I hope so anyway. And that would just make it nice and linear and smooth, so we could sort of, it won't try to kill you as quick. So that's the plan anyway. And another thing as well, this can also do the vehicle's anti-lag system as well. So the driver wire is going to like allow it to be opened up when you come off of the pedal inside the car, and then this can allow a certain amount of air to pass through the butterfly to keep the turbocharger spinning and allow for like good response, you know, when we're sort of off and on the accelerator. So on this side, with all the boost control systems plumbed up now, this is the boost control valve that we're using for the vehicle. It's a 4-port boost control valve, and everything's all linked with Racing Lines hoses, so there's no, it's going to get quite hot in this area as well. So these Racing Lines hoses basically make sure that they're going to stay on. So because if one of these falls off, you're going to have like over boosting and carry on really. So these make the turbo boost control nice and reliable really. So this turbo, the Katie Price turbo, has actually gone back to Turbo Smart for rehoming. So this was one of their X-Display models that they released in SEMA, I think it was. And we've used this for mock-up. So Ben from Turbo Smart, that was around another video ago, he's just called me and he said that they've got the actual turbo for the vehicle. So we're gonna put the final turbo on the vehicle, and then we could finalize all the oil drain for the turbocharger and pipe work and stuff like that. So, because there's still a bit of fabrication that's needed for the intercooler system for the outlet of the actual turbo. So, and one of the cool things that we've added to the wastegate as well is we've actually got a position sensor now. So we could now know basically where the valve's going to be in relation to different boost control and stuff like that. So nice little addition, and yeah, this should work well really. So we're kind of nearly done down the back here. We've got the oil pressure control valve as well for the turbocharger as well. So that should be, you know, all we need to sort of do down this end. We've just got to make the exhaust. And another thing as well, stuff hasn't been finalized for the air filtration system as well. So there's still a bit of work that we need to do with this intake pipe fitted to the vehicle as well. So I've got to notch it for around the chassis. And then I haven't got a filter yet, so I'm gonna try to get something big and gaudy to like sort of come down in this sort of area to basically suck nice cold air in and keep the bad bits out really. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the bit of a run around the car. We're not a million miles away from starting up, if I'm honest. So hopefully we should be able to get into some sort of wiring soon, and then once that's done, it should come together quite quick really. It'd just be a matter of putting fuel in it and doing 100 other spanner checks to make sure everything's going along as well. And we're going to have the proper turbocharger arrive as well, so it'd be nice to finalize all the exhaust system and finish off that, and then we can get all the intercooler and charge pipes and stuff like that on as well. So there's still lots of loose ends to do. None of these builds are easy, and anyone that's doing one, good on you, because we need to build these type of cars just to keep the trade alive and keep everyone happy, really, isn't it? So, you know, that's what it's all about, just having a bit of fun. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe. And yeah, we appreciate the comments as well. They're always entertaining, and see you soon.